Hi mate, I'm just going to go through your game breakdown quickly. I made you a little PowerPoint, if it'll load quickly. Amir's game breakdown. The objective of this is to increase your efficiency scoring. There was a few times that you missed out on just key things that would have got you scoring a bit higher, would have got more assists. And I feel like it's just important to talk through it for you to develop as a player. Just a bit of context so we understand, so we're on the same basis. I understand that your team's very good. It's unbeaten by a large margin. You're more skilled than half the league, as in your teams, and your opponents weren't really challenger on the defensive end. So I'll give you some leniency on the defensive end towards that. Like I'm not gonna challenge you on things that come with like effort when there's no point putting in effort. You feel you don't have to put in effort because they're such a weak team. I'm saying that drives come easy. A lot of the guys, they're very slow footed. They're very short. I felt you could have drove on him, but I'm going to talk about some of the things that you could capitalise on to score more. But overall, this stuff's going to be very nitpicky. Don't all feel like I'm picking on you or like I'm just being like that guy sat in his chair talking, going, "Oh, if that was me out there, I'd score 50." I'm just saying these are the things that you could have done. Very easily, quickly changed it, and you would have got another like 20 or 15 points. Um, so I've just got a few time cards, a few timestamps I want to look at. So first one's 3 minutes 34. 1 second, and this is Vermont's drive, I believe. Sorry about the quality. So you come down the floor, um, you pass it to Vermont. Everyone and their dog's uncle knows that Vermont's going to drive, and he very rarely passes out of it. But even so, if you at the higher levels, he's not going to be able to do that. And I'm just going to teach you things to get you ready for the higher levels where you'll have to pass out. So as he drives, you fill in, but you fill in behind him. What I would suggest is instead of filling in behind him, fill in towards the corner. Um, that with both the defensive heads turned, you can go either way, I feel. So you can fill it in towards the corner if you want to shoot a free. If you're not feeling your 3 point shot, what I'll do is because I cannot shoot threes for anything. Your defenders, both the reds are turned. Just go left, and fill in towards the center circle, like where like towards the free throw line, in between the free throw line, charge circle. You got easy, just floater. If Mom wants to dump it off to you, like you can't get it off. That's the first one I want to talk about. Let me go back to the PowerPoint. Attacking in triangles. There was another time. Um, here it is. So you get the ball, we go up court, and honestly, this should be an easy layup. So I'm not. I understand why you weren't really engaged, but right there, you're in a triangle motion. Like you've got one here, you got one here, and you've got you there. So what should have happened is you should have stayed towards the middle in order to keep that triangle. Because now the ball spills and it spills out. But that if you stayed towards the middle, that would have been an easy catch, easy just hook over the top of the defense. That's another 2 points right there, straight away. Yeah. So on to the next one. 4:33. So right, this one I want to talk about. This is more. Um, right, I'll just play it first, and then we'll talk about it in a second. So first of all, that is a great cut. I felt like that was a good, strong cut. However, what I want to draw attention to is here. So you decide to cut at this time, but if you're if you're the second man behind, if you're already on the perimeter, you can see that Alex is already deciding he wants to cut. So if Alex is already deciding that he wants to cut, the next logical step is for you to not cut hard to the paint, maybe do a shallow cut more towards the corner, and force your teammate in the corner to lift up, um, just to keep the space in, just to keep it more so that if someone doesn't pass it, he's not getting, they don't have to shrink the floor as much. I think Alex should have stayed. I think Alex should have stayed, and you should have caught because you had much more space and it was a much better drive. He didn't. If Alex cutting here brings the defense over, but that's my personal opinion. I think Alex should have stayed, but I understand your point of view. I understand Alex's point of view. But if Alex is cutting ahead of you, you can't then cut to the paint. There should only be one person with the ball driving into the paint, maybe, or a post player, and then one person cutting. You shouldn't have more than two. You shouldn't have more than two people in the paint at a time. That was a that's a very nitpicky one. I just wanted to talk about it quickly. Um, Next one. Let me just skim through. Oh, went past it. So it's this one. So you catch it here. I think this is a very good drive. The guy forces the pick up on you. But what I would say is instead of curling away from the defender, this help defender, this sort of white guy here, you curl away from him and shoot sort of a floater over the top of him. I feel you've put on weight, you've been in the gym, you've been doing your cardio, you've got your body control. I feel personally that you could have, instead of going away from him, sort of closed the gap on top of him, sort of come across this way, and and sort of went into him and finished over the top of him. It's a hard skill to like master. It's a hard skill to implement, but I feel like that is something that you could have done. Um, let's go on to 7:23. Is the next timestamp. Oh, this one's the one I wanted to talk about with defense. So I understand that you run a 1-3-1 press. That's a lot of teams run it. We run it for Hallam, but we're stinky at it. I've been trying to tell people to not do the exact thing that you do, is jump for the steal. Either because you know this is going to be a skip pass over the top. You know it's going to the guy at the wing on the other side. You know it's going to be a long skip pass. There's no need for you to jump. So the better thing to do, I feel like you're predicting the guy's going to skip it to the wing. The better thing to do is to try and steal it while you're fully extended or on the floor, because you took so much time jumping and getting down and then turning. It's so much strain on your legs and so much energy exhausted than just standing and then turning and running and keeping. You're so much further out the play than everyone else. This turns from a 5-on-5 because you've jumped and you in the air. It's turned to a 5-on-4, and yeah, just easy buckets for them. Pro hop. This one I feel like you could implement into your game. I don't think it's a hard move to learn. So first of all, let's cut this down, man. This move, I don't know. Let me slow this down because this move, I don't know how you did it, but first of all, good move. I like the fake. Got the guy in the air. Sick. Here, I feel you could have got in this gap with a pro hop in between. You see what I mean? Like instead of jump stopping here and trying to get the angle here, jump into the middle, get a pro hop into the middle and up. Yeah, instead of trying to pass around him. Or even you don't even need to pass around him. You can do like the fake round him and then use your tricep to push him out of the way and go up if you really wanted to. But I felt like you could have attacked that a bit better. to score yourself if you really wanted to. On to the second quarter, that was it. I think either got subbed out or I don't really think anything else was needed to be talked to. I felt like everything else was good shot selection. So 8:59, you got subbed out. So hi mate, I'm just going to be talking about the second quarter. I talked about your first quarter. I'm sure you went over the footage. Just want to clear it up a bit more so it's